Good evening, fellow Biafrans in Canada. Good evening, Biafrans all over the world that are watching this program from different platforms. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press that are seated in your different location, listening and watching to my tour of Canada today. Good evening, well-wishers and friends of Biafrans. I am not here to give a speech that will last for hours, but I want to just go straight to bullet point. For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria, called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They thought by the forceful and the barrels of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global village where the things of the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem. However, the state has continued to experience instability, insecurity, and the swelling lava of so-called agitation like they branded us today for self-determination. The Biafran government in exile and in the homeland, called the de facto government, has taken the liberation or so-called agitation from agitation to liberation by using what I called a multi-dimensional approach, relying on documentary evidence, observations, and descriptive analysis of the Nigeria state. By continuing to expose Nigeria and the nature of the Nigeria to the international community, especially to the new generational decision makers that didn't have the knowledge about how Nigeria come into existence. They have to be educated to know why we are fighting and why we must fight till Biafra is recognized and become an independent state. There is no going back. So they need to be educated to know when this thing comes to their table, the decision they could make that will impact the world. Because this is not just about Africa, but to impact the world positively. Now, this exposition of Nigeria includes the pattern of the coexistence among the different ethnic groups in Nigeria, including with their dangerous diversity. The extent these different dangerous diversities coexist, they exhibit the proactive for as well as factors that militate against the national integration, including when they say the RRR after the Biafra War. The manner the government promotes national unity and the factor that ignite the so-called separatist tendency like they brand us today. The inability to foster sense common identity and the national consciousness among the different ethnic group and these different dangerous diversities. The continuing promotion of inter-ethnic hatred by this same Nigeria. Every person, single person occupying the highest position or one of the high positions in Nigeria today have promoted the inter-ethnic hatred, which is the reason one of our sister, Amaka, is here today. Every one of us has been a victim of the Nigeria leaders' promotion of inter-ethnic hatred and unhealthy rivalry of these diversities, as well as the bad governance rooted in corruption and divisiveness. And above all, the move from the secular state to the Islamic State of Nigeria. Today we have the Muslim ticket, which even many people from the Christian part never believed it could be possible. They have all happened. It is not only that, they sponsor ethnic cleansing, killings in other parts of Nigeria, except in Biafra land, that we are resisting them today under my leadership. These are the main factors that fuel Biafra agitation and the liberation today, which I am leading. My fellow Biafrans, we have seen the killings of Christians in Nigeria, in different parts of Nigeria, including in Biafra land. We are resisting them. We have seen the promotion of this inter-ethnic hatred, which our sister Amaka and every one of us is a victim. Today, the Biafra government have risen to take responsibility of defending Biafrans all over the world, irrespective of what you believe in, irrespective of whether you support the struggle for Biafra or not. So long as you are being bullied by the Nigeria state as an entity, we are going to rise up to defend you. Whether you believe in me, believe in the Biafra government or not, and it's left for you to accept that particular gesture. The government is here to protect every Biafran from A to Z, anywhere you are in the world. Once Nigeria representative or Nigeria as an entity rise up to bully you, it is then you will know that indeed Nigeria is not for you. My fellow Biafrans, we have made history today. The awareness we have created in Washington, D.C., United States of America, is bringing a shockwave across Africa and across Sahel. We will continue to create this awareness for the new generation decision makers who may not have much knowledge about the Nigeria existence. My fellow Biafrans, as we are pursuing this liberation of Biafra using diplomatic approach, political approach, we are also pursuing it using armed struggle approach. And that is what we call the self-defense international law, where Nigeria state has made our place so uncomfortable that we are now very comfortable in exile until we fight our way to delegitimize them, demilitarize Biafra land, and then go back to set up a government that works for the people. On this note, I will use this opportunity to invite our sister Amaka, which have faced both backlash, attack, bully from the Nigeria government, including the agent of the Nigeria within Biafra struggle. I have never spoken to Amaka, never, till today, and I have not spoken to her. Maybe I will speak to her here. But during the course of the Biafra government approach to defend her, and we went head-on with the terrorist state and their representatives, providing evidences, and we are ready to provide witnesses for Amaka. We are not just only going to defend her by providing legal services and all that. We are ready to pay the legal fee. Not only that, we will provide witnesses on her behalf. The Biafra government will go to any length. We will use Amaka to set example of how a nation and a government should stand up for their citizens. Before that incident of the agent of Nigeria started reaching her, everybody was condemning her statement. And of course, it is only those who are deep-rooted with love for their people will understand what Amaka went through that made her a woman to make and utter such statement publicly on a live broadcast. We understood her, even though she was not part of us then. But being a Biafran that she is, even if she didn't accept it then, we understand her pain. It is only the Biafra government under my leadership understood Amaka's pain. And when we boldly stand up for her, it will be withdraw the statement against her. Because it was then they begin to see things from a different perspective. That's what makes us Biafrans.
Yes.
That's why we are different. And today, Amaka is here against all odds. Yes. Because she has been cursed, according to people who claim they have power to curse people, but their people are dying in their villages. They don't have the power to cure them. They say they have cursed Amaka because Amaka identifies herself with the Biafra Prime Minister. I am telling you today, Amaka, no curse. Even the one that I have laid upon you before this whole incident, the spirit I carry in me will neutralize every curse, whether from your family, from your village, and that is I am releasing that power that God has conferred in me, that every curse laid on you by anyone, before and after, will go back to them from today. Just watch and see.
He said,
I welcome you, Amaka. Give Biafra a few words.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen.
Today, by the power conferred on me as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, and after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law, and the Biafra Helsinki Declaration.
Biafra. So whether you like it or not, we are our freedom has been discussed and have been getting it 100%, and that's why we are going home. Biafra is declared.
My children, here. Overlook it now. He got no photo. Me quehe. He get queria. My hair quero. I get queria.
They must surely hear from us.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What it tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African standby post, in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources to ensure the upgrade
Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. Beloved home, land of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. shall protect our hearts from all abhors. But if the price is that for all we will give, then let us die without a shred of fear. Hail to Biafra, consecrated nation. O Fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. Defending thee shall be our dedication. Spilling our blood will count our privilege. The waving standard which emboldens the free shall always be our flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed we'll pass. When we are poised, the wounds of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets fill the glorious song of victory. We scored, oh might and wrong. Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfalls. Guide all our movements lest we go astray. Give us the strength to heed the humanist call, to give and not to count the cost each day. Let those who rule to serve with resoluteness, to make this climb a land of righteousness.
The United States of America is a steadfast supporter of the principles that people have a right to choose their own form of government. Nations have a right to choose their own alliances. There are inalienable rights governments must protect. The rule of law must be cherished. Sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states must be respected.
The UN Charter and its principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, human dignity, and the right to self-defense, these principles are universal and we must uphold them. International law must be protected always and everywhere, without any ambiguity, in Ukraine, in the Middle East, and everywhere in the world. This is our global responsibility.
Self-preservation must be protected at all costs. Today, the Biafra Liberation Army have neutralized dozens of these terrorists in our land, and we are proud of them. They will continue to go down. Our demand is very simple. Pull them out of Biafra land. Remove every checkpoint. If you do not dismantle all the checkpoints, they will continue to die. We will continue to excel. We will continue to deal with Nigeria.
Leader, a tireless advocate, and a beacon of hope for our people. Today, we are privileged to hear from Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, the Deputy Prime Minister and Chief of Staff of the nation. Dr. ORABUEZE is a woman of remarkable strength, intellect, and commitment, whose unwavering dedication to the cause of Biafran liberation and the well-being of our people has earned her the respect and admiration of countless citizens across our land and beyond. Before we proceed, it is only fitting that we acknowledge the visionary leadership that guides our struggle. We extend our deepest gratitude and recognition of our esteemed Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, whose bold and resolute leadership continues to inspire us all. Despite the challenges he faces, his commitment to the restoration of Biafra's sovereignty remains unshaken, and we stand united in our efforts to support and secure his vision for our nation. We also pay homage to our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a towering figure whose courage, wisdom, and sacrifice have ignited the flame of hope in the hearts of millions. His leadership has laid the foundation for our collective pursuit of justice, freedom, and self-determination. Though he remains unjustly detained, his voice echoes in our hearts, and his dream of a free and sovereign Biafra remains the cornerstone of our struggle. We honor his enduring legacy and reaffirm our resolve to see his dream of a free and prosperous Biafra come to fruition. Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE steps forward today not only as a leader, but as a representative of our collective aspirations. With her extensive experience, compassion, and strategic insight, she has been a vital force of Biafran people and making sure we are heard and working tirelessly to secure a future where justice, equity, and prosperity reign. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, Deputy Prime Minister and Chief of Staff of the United States of Biafra, as she delivers her State of the Nation address. May our words inspire us, unite us, and propel us forward in our noble quest for a sovereign land, for our sovereign and thriving Biafra. Thank you. You have the floor, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE.
Thank you so much, Biafrans, and thank you so much, Ugo 247. Thank you so much, Honorable Ugochi. On this note, I want to welcome and recognize the Secretary of the United States Information Department, Dr. Agi. Can you please unmute your video and open this event today? Thank you so much, dear friends.
Thank you, my DPM.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Agi, can you? Okay.
Thank you, my DPM.
Thank you.
Remember.
Thank you. Yeah. Good afternoon, dear friends. Today is another historic day for genuine Biafrans who believe in the truth, who walk the path of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, His Excellency, and now Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE is sitting on that same seat. For those that believe in freedom, we encourage you to come in and listen to this State of Union address. A lot has been accomplished and a lot more to be done. We are barely 3 months, I think, going to 4 months. For those that were around during 2021, you know the journey wasn't easy. Bear with us. I always say be patient with us. Please join us in this State of Union address. I present to you Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, the Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. Dr. ORABUEZE, good to have you. Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Biafrans. Thank you and thank you. Thank you,
Bless DPM.
everyone. Greetings, Biafrans, and welcome to the State of the Nation address. Today, March 15, 2025. My name is Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, the Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, the legal surrogate to the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, and the legal representative to the leader of Biafra, our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. I welcome all of you here today. Greetings to His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, who has declared the independence and sovereignty of the state of Biafra through my humble self, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, who is and remains the surrogate to the Prime Minister and the only authority that leads the United States of Biafra at this time until our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, joins us. Greetings to our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been so resolute and resilient in the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. You are where you are because of what we do. Biafra has been declared, and we must defend the United States of Biafra. I want to also use this opportunity to thank all the cabinet members, the secretaries of the United States of Biafra, the deputy secretaries, cabinet members, state governors of the 40 states of Biafra, state executives, country heads of missions, state administrators, stakeholders of the United States of Biafra, Biafra Securities, the Biafra Defense Forces, the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Resistance Fighters, the Biafra Navy, Air Force, and Special Escorts. I greet and thank you all. My dear fellow Biafrans, the good people of Biafra, the children of the land of the rising sun, people extraordinarily gifted, humanly and naturally, people of wisdom, endurance and strength, people of integrity, steadfastness, respect and honor. I can sit here or stand here for hours qualifying you, my people, in the most factual ways without lacking words of expression. I'm privileged to be a Biafran. What about you? Hope you still do, regardless. Because this is our time. Once again, after more than 110 years in bondage, the redeclaration of the United States of Biafra was led by His Excellency, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, represented by me, Dr. ORABUEZE, and took place in Finland on November the 29th, 2024, during which more than 1,500 Biafrans from all around the world gathered between November 29th and December 3rd, 2024, even without our Prime Minister, to proclaim the restoration of Biafra, the 1967 independence, and officially adopted its new name, the United States of Biafra. Our nation comprises of 40 confederating states, which collectively proclaims the Biafra territorial sovereignty and integrity. Remember, this couldn't have been possible without your participation in the series of organized efforts, mainly a verified self-referendum conducted by Biafra, where we utilized both electronic and physical voting methods. In this exercise, over 50 million Biafrans voted in the period of 1st February to 28 November 2024 to exit Nigeria. Biafrans have voted en masse to exit Nigeria. 99.8% of Biafrans at this point have voted to exit Nigeria. This referendum voting has been verified by the ORB report and the OEAS and other international reports. A well-renowned United States of America analyst, Michael Rubin, has verified, confirmed, and supported the Biafra referendum. He confirmed the process and the declaration of the United States of Biafra. It might please you to know that more people participated in our referendum than the total number of voters in some of the Nigerian general elections. This clearly reflects a substantial commitment to self-determination among the Biafra people. The Biafra government highly appreciates you all. This singular act proves that the independence and restoration of Biafra is not dependent on any single individual. It also shows that no one can stop the freedom of the over 70 million Biafrans who have sought for their freedom from a geographical expression called Nigeria that rehabilitates and reintegrates non-terrorists into its military, police, security agents, and leadership. Almost 60 years of constant insanity and intimidation. We are finally free to govern ourselves. Time to resurrect sanity in and among us. Time to start living again. I know some of you are still in doubt, skeptical, afraid of your hopes being dashed. It seemed too simple to be true because you don't want to be disappointed again. Your reactions are legitimate. At least it shows that you are aware Biafra's independence is redeclared. With only the referendum, yes, and many more. The people's voices and opinions are the ultimate. We all know that we, Biafrans, have a central position in the true history of mankind. Civilization, democracy, be it socially and politically, through our different community structures, spirituality, and many others. Even Biafra fulfills all the objective criteria the international treaties outlined for establishing a statehood. We have a permanent population of more than 70 million people, functioning government with all the relevant departments, including defense and foreign affairs. We have a defined territory. We have the ability to engage in diplomatic relations with foreign states and respect for human rights and self-determination. With your solid mandate, no going back. So when 50 million of us have spoken, nothing can stop their consensus from coming to light. We, the members of the United States of Biafra's government, meanwhile, led by my humble self, the Deputy Prime Minister, are committed and resolute to fully restore our sovereignty and territorial integrity. As we use this occasion to honorably notify you, we shall continue to reach out to the different actors in our homeland, inviting and appealing particularly to those of them that are Biafrans for their understanding, well-meaning and unreserved cooperation and support for a peaceful process. After all, that is our people's ultimate desire right now. We need peace in our land. The government of our now our neighbor Nigeria is already notified respectfully and peacefully. And we continue to reach out and have our arms open to receiving them for a constructive and roundtable dialogue that aims at attaining a peaceful dissolution and acknowledgement of Biafra's re-establishment. We dissolve Nigeria and we establish Biafra. An irremediable withdrawal from the amalgamation, we express our aim of achieving an amenable and favorable solution for our countries, for our country's future as neighbors, taking into consideration the people and the population, protection of the lives and properties of the people of our both countries, achieving eventual diplomatic ties and bilateral relation and agreements. Please note that we don't have anything against the ordinary people of the failed entity of Nigeria. They are our brothers, our sisters, our families, our neighbors. They are fellow Africans. It is the government of the entity led by the inhuman crooks and fraudsters that rehabilitates non-terrorists and ship them down to different parts of the country to kill Christians, to kill indigenous Nigerians. Those are the people we are referring to as the enemy of the people. We extend an olive branch and ask for the immediate withdrawal of all its bodies, military, police, security, and so on from the Biafra territory. This is for the Nigerian state to do so immediately. We've notified them before. We are notifying them again. Our government is capable and takes charge and provides for our people's needs. Seeking relation and friendship among foreign states. Our young nation, the United States of Biafra, is dedicated to establishing a mutual, favorable, and robust diplomatic ties with nations worldwide, promoting respect and cooperation. Hence, the Biafran government is officially reaching out to foreign states for recognition of our sovereignty, advocacy for our nation, establishment of bilateral relations, and cooperation in subsequent areas of common interest, like economic partnerships, humanitarian support, to ensure the well-being and prosperity of our citizens. We appreciate and commend the United Nations members, Gabon, Haiti, Ivory Coast, Tanzania, and Zambia. We also appreciate Amazonia and the Eritrean government in exile, who have continued to recognize Biafra. Other countries like the Eritrea government in exile have officially recognized our independence. Several congressmen and women in the United States of America, South Korea, and Europe have expressed positive position to the independence of the United States of Biafra. But be clear, United States of Biafra does not need the recognition by the United Nations to be a sovereign state. The global political and economic community is undergoing turbulence and fragmentation. The changing geopolitical dynamics from decades of the unipolar world to an increasingly multipolar world where the influence of global powers is more fragmented is a visible development. These changes obviously affect the world global landscape economically and politically, hence cannot be ignored. The United States of Biafra acknowledges this wind of change as a positive and favorable wind and path to follow us, as we have been fighting against a transnational repression, hostile occupation, and destabilization by Nigerian terrorist state in our territory. Nigeria and its allies have maintained tight stranglehold on Biafrans and Biafra while controlling our territory to our detriment. The government of the United States of Biafra is committed to providing economic progress and stability to our people, as well as contributing promoting the similar in the African community and regions. We aim at seizing the opportunity of the current world order to work with these African heads of state who share the same ambition with Biafrans to promote the African cause of reclaiming full territorial integrity and sovereignty, as well as economic independence. Resource in Biafra land is a known fact that our nation, Biafra, is blessed with both human and natural resources. The fundamental reason for the forceful amalgamation into Nigeria and something which remains a main source of our bad situation. Through history, our resources have been exploited. It is still ongoing by Nigeria and its foreign allies. And our environment has been polluted and grossly damaged in the process of extracting the natural resources, and has as such ruined other means of livelihood for the people. Biafra strongly says no to these decades of exploitative acts and will not give room for such to prevail or continue to prevail. We have also notified all foreign companies milking the crude oil in Biafra land to start paying the 50 million naira or 50 million AJ, which is the Biafran currency, into the Biafra government purse every month. This money will help us rebuild our nation from the devastation that's come upon us by these countries. It will also help us rebuild our nation and help us provide basic resources to our people in areas of healthcare, education, economic, agriculture, and immigration services. Such amount is a drop in the ocean compared to the thousands of dollars these companies get monthly from the Biafra territory. Public announcements have also been made on that the Monday sit at home is active in all Biafra land to tell the oil companies and the Nigerian agents that Biafra is a sovereign nation. The Monday sit at home continues and has continued for the past 2 years voluntarily by all Biafrans to send a message that Biafra is a sovereign nation and to release our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been held by the Biafran state for the past 4 or 5 years, despite the law system, despite the United Nations Committee that told Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him, Nigerian state have refused to do that. The Monday sit at home continues. Why we must remain steadfast in defending our independence? We all know that we as a people have been fighting against transnational repression, hostile occupation of Biafran land, and influx of terrorist insurgents and militias into our territory, sponsored and ordered by our now neighbor and ex, the failed entity. What haven't we been subjected to? Is it the repression system, the persecution of Christians? Biafrans are mostly Christians. The human rights violations for decades, the multiple and perpetual genocide, or the relentless extinction threats. Biafrans are mostly Christians, traditionalists, and Judaists. Just to name some of the spacious acts of extinction driven with impunity. The 1945 sudden and savage attack on Biafrans resident in the north, who were taken completely by surprise by the Nigerian state. And before the situation could be brought under control, the bodies of Biafran men, women, and children littered the streets and their property worth thousands of pounds, reduced to shambles. No consequence on those responsible, no compensation to Biafrans. The 1966 massacre of more than 700,000 Biafrans all over the failed state, simply for being Biafrans. It's only now, almost 60 years later, that some main actors and perpetrators are coming out to acknowledge their evil deed with their final boarding pass in their hands. Our own heroes, Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu and General Philip Effiong, as well as several other actors, narrated the true story. But the crooks either declined from commenting or went on perpetuating their lies, only to start now to attract last attention and honor for committing such atrocity on mankind. Even with their book of cruelty, they know themselves and know fully well that they have not told it all. This shows how determined they have always been on accomplishing their project of extinction of us, as they continued to do. The 1967 to 1970, together with their colonial master Britain and almost the entire world power, they executed the genocidal war that took the lives of over 5 million Biafrans. The main man, with his boarding pass, begging to board, sheltered in their colonial master's land, wants to carry his evil to the other side. Most of them at this point have the passport about to leave because of the crime they committed against Biafra people. We leave it up to the spirit of these millions of Biafrans together with our invisible God to fight for us. Then the RRR came, the reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reparation, which was never implemented. And the 20 pounds given to our people in place of their huge wealth. At the end of the Biafra-Nigeria Civil War, all Biafrans all over Nigeria, regardless of how much millions, regardless of how much thousands of pounds you have in your account, the Nigerian state gave them, each and every one of them, only 20 pounds, equivalent of, if you have $20,000, if you have $1 million, if you have $100 million in your account in Nigerian state, by the end of the Civil War, Biafrans all over Nigeria were given only 20 pounds. Let me say equivalent of $20, regardless of how much you have in your bank account. That is what Nigerian state did to us, to our parents and to our grandparents. The crackdown on subsequent Biafra activists to hold us in bondage to the detriment of our people, while they and their Western allies continue to exploit our natural resources, leaving our environment polluted and grossly damaged in the process of extracting the natural resources, and has as such ruined other means of livelihood for the people. Biafra strongly says no. No to these decades of exploitative acts, and will not give room for such to prevail or for such to continue. The perpetual act of intimidation. Several hundreds of Biafrans have since been unlived. Simple for being Biafrans. Simple for being Biafrans, for being Christians, or traditional worshippers, or Judaizers, or their human and natural resources. Simply for this, Nigeria armored tanks are in several quiet communities of Biafra land as I speak now. The current situation of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in the hands of our ex, and that of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, in the hands of our Finland, through the current Finnish government, in the hands of our ex too, should be able to convince every Biafra to support what we are doing. Both leaders should be appreciated and held high for standing in the gap for us. With the evidence in our position, their persecutions are simply politically and economically motivated by both oppressors. Their situation is quite provoking. The failed and criminal entity has since 2021, without any reason, and even acting against its own constitution and court judgments, denied our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in possession of British passport, his basic human rights for freedom and right to agitate for self-determination for us, his people, the indigenous people of Biafra. Their government kidnapped him from Kenya and has since then held him incarcerated under DSS in Nigeria. Notably, the government of the international community, including the current Finnish government, instead of calling Nigerian government to order, has remained mute about our situation, and rather proceeded their economic deals with the entity using our population and our resources. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is in possession of the Finland's national passport, has for close to 4 months now gotten his freedom infringed upon by the criminal enterprise and the current Finnish government in Finland. It's obvious that our lives still don't seem to matter to our oppressors. Our lives do not matter to you. It does not matter to our oppressor, Nigeria and co. But our resources do matter to them. I know that many of you are wondering about the current Finnish government's position here. It's all about hypocrisy and double morals. But be assured that they will all reap what they sow, positively or negatively. As far as this Biafra government is concerned, the current Finnish government consents to and is hence co-responsible for the atrocities carried out on our people since November 2024. The current Finnish government has, through its unprecedented act, sabotaged the security of our nation. Our Prime Minister's absence has devastating consequences. He's been denied freedom and the right to continue leading the people of Biafra. Biafrans all over the world are devastated and worried. A record high number of atrocities and killing of hundreds of Biafrans have occurred in Biafra land since the current Finnish government's action against us and our Prime Minister in November 2024. Nigerians' human rights violation on our people is on record high, as it has intensified its efforts to intimidate, invade, and occupy our land in an effort to make us back down on our independence so that it will continue to occupy our sovereign land. No, no, no. In addition to our boat leaders who are unlawfully put away by Nigeria and Finland, many Biafrans are abducted without any cause and are languishing in criminal entities, prisons, and confinements across Nigeria and in Finland, simply because they are identified as indigenous people of Biafra. They show solidarity for Biafra's self-determination. They are Christians or traditionalists or Jewish by religion or faith. Even not having enough money ready to be extorted by their terrorist armies and police scattered all over the Biafra territory is enough to be kidnapped, killed, or imprisoned. The external oppressors. We take note of the dirty game the foreign governments, like the current Finnish government and Britain, are already playing, probably positioning themselves and mobilizing for a new round of genocidal war of extinction of the people of Biafra. It will not go unnoticed or without consequences as far as the Biafran government is concerned. We advise them to do the right thing now, and instruct their partner, their agent of the failed entity, to restore the freedom of our boat leaders. Man up and withdraw their stranglehold on the people of God. Stop the acts of intimidation. Rather, honor our invitation for a civilized and constructive discussion as equals to make the world a better place. Its government are crowned for habitually violating human rights, religious freedom, and democratic rules. An act marked by our people being slaughtered in cold blood, others driven out of their homes simply because of their ethnicity and religion. Our women are being raped and grossly assaulted. Biafrans are kidnapped and extorted for money and even butchered. Biafran youths and fathers are eliminated. Think of how many dreams of the people of Biafra that have been silenced all through these years. With these in mind, we shouldn't all relent in your support. 110 years of bondage, pain, and setback. Lies upon lies. Enough is more than enough. Biafrans want to go home and build our countries and deliver the same basic things that you all enjoy in your own countries. I think it's a fair statement. With these in mind, we shouldn't all relent in your support. 110 years of bondage, pain, and setback is what Biafrans have been going through. The same reason the young military men wanted to take over in 1966, the same reason for the Aburi Agreement in Ghana in 1967, which Gowon and his cohorts walked away from shortly after signing it. Rather, with full intent, aggressively descended on and to the extent of the Biafra people. The same reason the entity has now collapsed completely. Nigeria entity has collapsed. It's a failed state and termed a criminal enterprise, namely corruption among the political elites and bad governance. Yet, millions of Biafrans have been victimized and paid with their blood. That is why we have taken over our own governance. The Biafra government, our reinstated nation, is a clear alternative to the criminal and failed state we have been bound to. In all ramifications, it is nation of confederating states. Our constitution is written by the people of Biafra. Our nation stands on our people's overwhelming mandate, and we have a shared history, quest, and determination. Unlike the geographical entity mapped out of economic and political motivations, the map of the United States of Biafra encompasses natural borders and is drawn based on natural principles and our ancestral heritage. More so, the government of Biafra is committed to preserving human rights, applying law, order, ethics, respect, and moral, and ensuring the freedom and well-being of the people, all the people that follow the laws of the United States of Biafra. We committed to fostering an environment designed to attract local and foreign investments, stimulate innovation, and create opportunities for entrepreneurship and job creation. We will provide a secure and transparent business climate with streamlined regulations and investment incentives. We aspire to become a hub for trade, commerce, and industry, leveraging our strategic location, abundant resources, and skilled workforce to drive economic growth, reduce poverty, and improve our citizens' overall quality of life. In our land, the people, young and old, infant or child, male or female, family, stand in the center of whatever we're doing as a Biafran government. And we are not going to compromise that, especially with a solid mandate you have entrusted us with. We have provision for everyone at all stages in life. So the Biafra government efforts are meant to benefit every Biafran. including you. We have designed and are committed to a national structure and program which cares for all our people from birth until pension, old age, and natural death. A people-focused structure, and we will have the financial capacity to implement and fulfill these as soon as we secure our territory and natural resources. Our youths are challenged, pose a challenge, and need us urgently, both through prayer and good governance, especially the displaced and frustrated ones and those who have had to join the underworld. We will dialogue with them to restore hope and enthusiasm in them. The Biafra government is working tirelessly to provide our people with better tomorrow, full of opportunities. We need you to anticipate this fact and participate positively in this process to get there as soon as we secure our territory. They will be overwhelmed with opportunities, job, education, sports. We all know that our struggle for self-determination and now an independent state is deeply rooted in the desire to escape this oppressive regime and for the existence Biafrans. We are on course in building a nation founded on the principles of justice, equity, respect, and human dignity, knowing fully well our history from there, what it has and is still subjecting our people to. We hold it so high to reinstate freedom, human right and dignity to our people, ethics and moral in dealing with one another, respect for the rule of law. Sanity must be restored in our land as a fundamental factor for us to thrive and be able to obtain our full potential. Defense. With our decentralized military structure, we have 40 state commanders and deputies working closely with the state administrators, executive, and state special training forces. This is our format laid down by our Prime Minister. These state commands have equal power and support from the United States of Biafra government and their people. They are happy and are getting the necessary support daily. We have the Biafra Security Defense Secretaries who are overseeing all these activities. Facts. We have only one command, and no act of sabotage will be permitted under the United States of Biafra. It is a promise. Our training to our combatants on international human rights laws teaches our people on rules of engagement of the military. So Biafra security, Biafra defense forces, Biafra resistance fighters, or Biafra Liberation Army cannot attack innocent Biafrans, cannot shoot at innocent Biafran homes, cannot kill innocent Biafrans, or order citizens that visit Biafra territory, cannot harm innocent Biafrans. This is our core principle, maintained by our Prime Minister, Commander-in-Chief of the United States of Biafra, His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku. We maintain that principle. If you are part of those that try to eliminate innocent Biafrans just because they do not believe in your tactics, in your styles, you need to stop. We all have one head. While we continue to explore all the peaceful processes towards our total freedom, we are also using all the rights ascribed to us as a nation to enhance and increase our military strength to defend our land and for our self-determination and for our self-defense against foreign invaders. Against foreign invaders. If you are currently in the territories of the United States of Biafra, wearing any military or police uniform of our sister state, the failed state of Nigeria, you are invading a foreign land. We, again, on this day, standing on this podium, in the light, in the eye of the whole world, telling all the foreign invaders from our sister nation, Nigeria, to leave Biafra land immediately. Immediately. It is important to note that Nigeria, the first state, has been at war, secret war with Biafra for the past 2 years. As was confirmed by the defense chief of our sister nation, Christopher Musa, their defense chief, in several platforms. He has also on different occasions explained the type of war Nigeria is engaging with Biafra citizens. As a nation, we must confront foreign invaders in our territory. And we must defend our people and territorial integrity. Our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, is defending Biafra land against the reintegrated terrorists hired by the government of the failed state, Nigeria. Wearing military and police uniforms, I want to use this opportunity to let the Finnish local authorities and their cohorts know that the image of Finland has been dented by the way they handle the investigation of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. And we want them to know that nothing they do or engage in will stop the total defense of Biafra land from the invading failed states terrorists. They must leave our land. We will make them leave our land. Our referendum for Monday Sit at Home continues non-stop till date. This is a voluntary referendum action by all Biafrans in the 40 states to demand for the release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, by the Nigerian state and let our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, live freely by Finland. We encourage and we demand that the Nigerian state, they leave our land, withdraw all their army, police, and so-called securities hired by the delegitimized Southeast and South-South governors that are currently occupying our land. We need them to move away from our land immediately. Allow Biafrans to start taking care of our people. We have secretaries of all the departments ready to start work from day one. They are waiting for the terrorist state of Nigeria and the people they hired and brought to our land to leave immediately. We have to give our people the best form of life that they deserve. Allow Biafrans to live peacefully as an independent country that has been declared. So our Monday Sit at Home continues until our nation is fully secured and defended. The terrorists and militants, they are sent to Biafra territory to kill, maim, and burn the homes of innocent citizens of Biafra just for their beliefs in the Biafra nation. Thousands of innocent Biafrans have been killed by the Nigerian terrorist state and their agents inside Biafra land. We cannot fold our hands and watch as our people are murdered daily by the Nigerian state to grab the mineral and natural resources in Biafra land, which is used to serve foreign countries, while our people perish in abject poverty. These same terrorist killings happens in different parts of Nigeria, such as in Oduduwa, in Arawa, the Middle Belt, where innocent indigenous citizens and Christians are murdered in their hundreds. School kids are taken away in their hundreds for ransom. Undergraduates kidnapped without trace, while the government offers no help. What kind of a country is that? Sabotage. The challenges we get at this point are expected and transitional. Those of you killing Biafrans because they refuse to follow you, you have only one head. I repeat that again. Stop what you are doing. We have only one government, and we have a common enemy, which is a failed state, Nigeria, occupying our land. We are a country, and what we want to make transparent is transparent. Biafrans, do not be worried about some of the fake names that the criminals and our enemies parade on social media. Do not be moved or worried, because we are a nation and have the right to raise funds to defend our country from invading, reintegrated, and rehabilitated terrorists of the Nigerian state and their agents. Whoever is telling you that we must wait for Prime Minister Simon Ekpa to come out and give them order is a zoo terrorist agent. Why didn't that person say, let us wait for Prime Minister before declaring Biafra? Let us wait for Prime Minister before filing the papers for our declaration. Let us wait for Prime Minister before fundraising to support our angels defending our land. Why didn't those individuals say, let us wait till our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, comes out before we declare our nation the United States of Biafra? Anybody telling you we have to wait, or we are going to stay, or we're not going to do anything until our Prime Minister or our leader Nnamdi Kanu comes out, that person is working for the zoo terrorist state of Nigeria. And Biafrans, we must confront them, because they do not want us to progress. They do not want to move on. Those are the tactics used by the Nigerian state and the delegitimized Southeast and South governors, telling them, oh, let us wait until our Onyendu Nnamdi comes out. Biafra state, the United States of Biafra, is not about any individual. It is about a people that keeps moving on, and nothing, absolutely nothing will stop the final push to declare. We've already declared the final push to protect our land and start giving our people what we need to give to them, which is good life, and make the world a better place. Anybody that stands in that way is hired by the Nigeria Zoo state. Our common enemy. Our common enemy is the terrorists, insurgents, and militia. The government of the criminal enterprise Nigeria reintegrates and use the slaughter of our people, rape our women, and take over our land. Our other common enemies are other Biafrans, fellow Biafrans that work closely with the terrorist state of Nigeria to stall and disturb and truncate the final push to restore, protect, and actively serve our people. Those are our common enemies. Information update from the Foreign Affairs. In accordance with the United States of Biafra foreign policy, which prioritizes the safety of our people and defense of our territorial integrity, our diplomatic relations has been geared towards achieving these goals. Through our foreign affairs, we have formally notified nations and communicated our intent to these nations, especially the President of the United States of Biafra, Donald J. Trump. A formal request for clarifications on the continuous restrictions of the head of state, United States of Biafra, has been sent to the Finnish government, and further actions will be taken by the Biafra government based on international legal framework. Our independence does not depend on Finland's recognition, and therefore the 1933 Montevideo Convention, which Finland recognizes, mandates respect for nations even before their recognition. The United States of Biafra government has opened different sections in the Foreign Affairs Department, including the sections for human rights violations committed by the failed Nigerian state and other countries. Biafrans, please go there and report on the human rights violations you know about or have experienced. Our problem is not reporting. We do not report. We have to start reporting these violations to the appropriate bodies. But do well and report the pictures, the videos, the newspapers, and organizational reports to the human rights organizations, the FBI, etc. Again, some of these international communities, they have an idea. Some of them knows what the Nigerian state is doing. At this time, we need them to speak up. We need them to work with us, the United States of Biafra, if they truly want to make the world a better place. If you remain silent, that means you are an accomplice to the atrocities being perpetrated by the Nigerian state to the innocent citizens of the United States of Biafra. Our Bank of Biafra is in progress as the license has been garnered, and soon Biafrans will start online banking and using our currency in our Biafra land. Our passport and driver's license will soon be out. Our ID card application is still in process, has been simplified. Please log into the Biafra Security Administration site and fill the forms and obtain your ID card. Almost the second, third batch of ID card for our Biafrans have been filled, and we're currently working on the fourth batch of those ID cards. Thank you so much, Biafrans, for your trust and belief in us. Our fundraising continues. There are 3 approved accounts. The accounts are safe, secure, and active. The Department of Justice have recognized United States of Biafra as a nation, and for that, we have the power, we have the legal power to do fundraising to support our United States of Biafra. We will continue to do that. Despite the sabotage, despite the actions being portrayed by the Nigeria terrorist state to list the names of innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers, I want to use this opportunity to let the world know we Biafrans, we are not terrorist financiers. What we do is to contribute money to help to build our nation, our new nation, the United States of Biafra. But what the Nigerian state have done through Christopher Musa and Tinubu is to list the names of innocent Biafrans like you and I as terrorist financiers and publish that in newspapers across, which is wrong. Biafrans, we will not succumb to this intimidation by the Nigerian state or the agents or the globalists that are work closely with the Nigerian state. Biafrans, continue to put your money in the approved accounts, the mandate account, Those two accounts in homeland, we will continue to use it to help our people, humanitarian basis, support our nation, build our nation. Do not let them scare you. That is what the Nigerian government wants to do, to scare us by publishing our names as terrorist financiers. Do not be distracted. We've told the Nigerian state, those wearing their military police uniform, to leave our land. We have been peacefully asking you, leave our land. Our people are ready to start work to make the lives of our people better from today, from day one. You have to leave our land. Biafrans will be going home in March this year, and nothing will stop that arrangement. We already have arrangements concluded for direct flights from the United States of America to Nigeria, from Europe to Nigeria. In the next couple of months, we will be able to finalize that agreement, and we will let the Biafrans know the airlines to board when they want to go home. Please, my lovely people of Biafra, we just have to create a new history, chapter together. One filled with all the good experiences we have been denied through 110 years. Hence, we invite and encourage Biafrans to come together and join hands to create such a new history chapter. We all deserved and yearn for our independence now provide all who want to be on the positive side of this history the room to do so. And we in the government of our nation, we are here to lead us to that aim. We have passed the stage of questioning the Biafra project or the Biafra people's approach to it. What matters now is that Biafra has come back and is in accordance with our people's overwhelming choice of self-governance and sovereignty. However, my team and I need you on this route to our homeland. We need your unwavering and unreserved support, be it morally, spiritual, understanding, and constructive ideas and practical contributions. Your trusted cooperation, unity among us, and solidarity. Please do well to encourage yourselves and come on board the Biafra project. Our homeland needs you more than ever. We need to firmly hold each other's hands now to promote unity and peace, to be able to get to our destination of a secured and prosperous Biafra nation. We need to collectively go back to our roots and our values as spiritually inclined people, using it as a fundamental tool to create and build our land. The spirit of our ancestors and that of our Biafrans whose lives have met a brutal, unexpected, and simply for being Biafrans have desired and paved way for this moment in time to commemorate their efforts and sacrifices for our continuous existence and to restore a sane society where our values, norms, and principles play major role in our daily endeavor and undertaking. Keep remembering our nation, Biafra, positively in your worships and prayers. Remember our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa Njoko, for their lives and freedom. Remember the Biafra government, for it to succeed in its endeavors. Remember our heroes, brave men and women that fought for our land. On the ground, those in Biafra land defending and protecting our people, homes and communities. We have suffered a lot as a people. We've been subjugated, to despicable things that can no longer be allowed to prevail and still face extinction threats. The Biafra Project is the only way to secure all parts and majority of the people a continuous sustainable existence and life worth living. Please let us join hands for a Biafra, free for all oppressors and oppressions, both transnational and national and within. A peaceful and safe Biafra homeland, and one where the children of God can again freely follow their faith, unfold and attain any height they aim at, where the sky will be their only limit, regardless of your gender, culture, or ethnicity. Let us all join hands together to say, all hail Almighty God, all hail the spirit of our ancestors, all hail Biafra, all hail our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, all hail our prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, all hail all our heroes, all Biafra forces, under the Biafra Defense Forces, who are genuinely working to defend and secure our homeland. We have only one nation, the United States of Biafra, represented by our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, by our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and by my humble self at this time, until our Prime Minister is out, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE. Together, we are strong. Thank you so much, Biafrans. I want to finally use this opportunity to let Biafrans know that we have notified several countries about the independence of the United States of Biafra. Some of these countries that have their embassies inside Nigeria state have received the letters, the official letters. Some of them have received the emails. But I want to, as a matter of respect, use this opportunity to name, so that the whole world will bear us witness, the countries that we have notified of our independence as a sovereign nation. Countries have been notified on the Declaration of Independence. We've notified Nigeria, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, Poland, Spain, Sweden, Israel, the Netherlands, Russia, United States of America, Canada, Burkina Faso, Slovenia, South Africa, Rwanda, Mexico, El Salvador, Botswana, Switzerland. These countries have been notified of our independence. I also want to use this opportunity to notify Biafrans that a couple of countries, a couple of groups that we've designated as terrorist organizations inside Biafra land. These are the list of countries that the government of the United States of Biafra prescribes and designates the following organization as terrorists: ISIS, West Africa, ISIS-WA, Boko Haram, Nigeria state-sponsored forces and special forces, Fulani Raiders, Joint Task Force, Southeast Operation, Ebubeagu, established by the Nigerian regime, Agune Chamber, established by the Nigerian regime, AVG, established by the Nigerian regime, Operation Ugogachi, established by the Nigerian regime, units of the Nigeria Armed Forces Special Forces, AFSF, operating in the territory of Biafra, Lakurawa. These organizations have been declared as terrorists by the Biafra nation. We also have the AVG established by the Nigerian regime, Operation Ugogachi, units of the Nigerian Armed Forces, and the Lakurawa. The Biafra general public is hereby warned that any person or group of persons participating in any manner whatsoever in any form of activities involving or concerning the above designated and listed groups are committing crimes against the Biafran people and will be considered accessories to terrorism. My fellow Biafrans, on this note, I thank you all, and this brings to end today's State of the Nation address. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, the DPM. That was a well-delivered address. Biafrans, if you have any question, please join us in the fundraising. And the question will be taken towards the end of our fundraising. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. Mazugo, can you let everyone in now? A lot of calls. It's 1:45, so 15 more minutes.
I think we're gonna take a break.
You know, 15 minutes?
Because it's a different Zoom link.
Oh, all right.
We will all come back for the fundraising.
All right. Thank you for the correction. I thought it was the same Zoom link.
Thank you so much, Biafrans, and have a wonderful day. And see you all at the fundraising, which starts in the next 15-20 minutes. God bless everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen.